first source of milk that you want for a bottle baby is going to be from that baby's own mother. We are milking out as much milk as we can from time so that that baby's poop will smell like her own mother's milk. If a mother smells another goat's milk on a baby, they tend to not be as attached to that baby. In this situation, Time already has rejected her baby for the most part. She still allows her to be around. She's not mean to her, but she does not cater to her like she does the boys. So we have to take an extra step and begin bottle feeding her because she has begun to show signs of weakness. Very minor signs, but that's what we've been watching for and hoping wouldn't happen. We were hoping that she was getting enough with Mom, and we left her with Mom up until last night. Last night she began to shiver and cry out for Mom, and Mom ignored her. Even when we held her to the teat, Mom would kick away. So that's when we knew we had to have this baby be a bottle baby. I was able to get just a little bit of milk from Time that is being added to the milk that I already warmed up from Kitty that we had in the fridge. So you always want to make sure that the bottle is the correct temperature, which is going to be pretty warm. It's kind of similar to how you test the temperature of a baby's bottle on your wrist. It should be not hot, slightly warm for a goat. So that's the best temperature guesstimation that I can give you. There we go. There we go. You always want to hold their head upwards and the bottle upwards. Fern, do not eat my camera. To simulate how they would be nursing with their mom. The teat would be hanging down and they'd be getting a grip of it. It's good to introduce the nipple early on so that they can get used to it. Rejection of a triplet is not that unusual. I stated it right from the beginning that I was expecting it to happen, especially for a first freshener. That is why I chose to get Autumn on a nipple right away so that she would know how to take a bottle and it wouldn't become a battle of trying to teach her to take a nipple. So if you know that you want to bottle feed your babies, start them as soon as they've had their colostrum. Only give them colostrum the first 3 days for sure. The signs that I was looking for were not going to the teat as often, not being as energetic as the others, and lighter weight. So those are things that you want to watch out for. If the baby becomes lethargic, you're in serious critical condition. She hadn't become lethargic, she just never became playful, which is a sign that she wasn't getting enough calories. So the next thing you look for is shivering. If the baby is shivering, it is because they have not put on the correct amount of fat. They have not filled out to keep their bodies warm and control their temperature. Even if their internal temperature is correct and they don't have a low grade temperature, they could still be shivering just from normal temperatures. I mean, it's not cold here. Once we bring the goats out, it's pretty sunny and warm. So for her to be shivering was definitely a sign of caution. And that's when I took her in the house. So in addition to the shivering, which I'm already seeing her begin shivering even with her little coat on in the sun, is that she is weak in the legs. It looked like she had a limp on the back left leg yesterday, but I have not seen it again. It was only when she was trying to catch up with her brothers, but she definitely seems like her legs are a bit on the weaker side, and for that I'm giving her selenium and E as a supplement. I also gave her lamb and kid paste as a supplement as well, just to help make sure that she had the correct colonies in her rumen to keep her healthy. Now, since I've been feeding her in the house, she's had a lot of pee and a good amount of poop. So those are other signs that we look for if a baby is not getting enough and being rejected. Are they peeing and pooping? Just like a real baby or a human baby, those are signs that there could be something going on, is if they're not peeing and pooping. And you notice she's not running off. Her brothers are up there running round and round in circles. She's like, I'm just gonna lay down, Mom. Boys, do not scare the goats. You see, they're able to run away from the boys if they want to. Autumn, no, she's definitely not as curious and energetic as her brothers. But the good news is we know what to do. We know that we need to take care of her. We need to keep her body temperature controlled properly, and we need to keep her well fed. So she is drinking raw goat milk. That is the #1 first choice if you have to bottle feed a baby due to triplets, or if you lost a mother, or any other reasons. Then the best thing to know is the best thing to feed them is going to be raw goat milk. The next best thing would be raw cow milk. The third best thing would be whole cow milk from the grocery store. Not 2%, not skim. It has to be whole. So those are the first 3 things that you would choose if you were going to substitute from their own mother's milk. Some people do use the formulas that are made for giving bottles to baby goats. Unfortunately, those formulas are very, very poorly made. Any of them containing soy could destroy the gut bacteria and cause scours and kill your baby. Any that are made from multi-species instead of just goats could do the same. I've seen more baby goat sickness and death from ones that are being fed formula. Even though that is the only option for some people, it is the absolute worst option. So remember, nothing but classroom for the first 3 days. Then after that, you can add in supplements. If you see a selenium deficiency that's clear, that the legs are not working properly, go ahead and give the selenium. That is about the only thing that I would give before they were 3 days old. Then you want to bottle feed them from that point, and that's okay, that's good. You can do that. You want to do 20% of their body weight in 4 bottles a day. So when they're newborns like this, that you want to make sure they're getting 4 bottles a day. As they get larger and bigger and stronger, you can reduce it to 3 bottles a day, gradually reducing it to 2 bottles a day until they're fully weaned. You don't want to wean before 3 months old. Baby goats have to be getting the nutrition from that milk until they are at least 12 weeks old. If you wean them any sooner than that, it can cause long-term detrimental health issues in that animal. And she still just lays down. So she has no energy. So something we can do for that is give a little dab of honey on her tongue or molasses and see if that boosts her energy. Sometimes even a tiny pinch of cayenne can help with that as well. It's a very beneficial herb to use in a lot of situations. Last night I gave her a pinch of cayenne mixed with honey, and she did seem to have just a little bit more energy after that. So might start doing that every couple of hours. I don't think I'm comfortable leaving her out here. She's gonna go back in the house with me. I'm gonna give her as much time as I can out here playing, well, watching the other goats play at least, and then bring her in when I go in. I just don't want her getting stepped on or anything for her laziness. So a lot of these early stage symptoms of being rejected or neglected by mom are very similar to how they act when they're really young. So if they're acting like a newborn still and sleeping a lot, that's a good sign that they may not be getting enough calories from mom, and you will have to bottle supplement them. So you can sometimes do what we started in the beginning and bottle supplement with just 1 bottle a day and leaving her on mom, but we were finding that that was not improving her situation at all, even though we were using mom's milk. And so we knew that she was not improving. She wasn't getting worse, but she was not improving. And by this point, she should be bouncing around. So we knew that it was time to increase her bottles. And then when we saw the shivering and crying, we knew it was time to just completely pull her in, get her warmed up in the house, and get her lots of good meals in her belly. So those are the tips and tricks that I know to help you determine if you need to bottle feed one of your triplets, and some tips on how to do so. So use that to the best of your ability, do some more research, make sure you know your options. And thank you for watching another edition of Natural Goat Care. We'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots.